Hi, I'm David Burkett. I'm the convener of SNP Peterhead. Now, our friends in the Scots Tory branch office tweeted this over a weekend, and it has to be said that the photo paints a devastating picture. One could hardly imagine a country being mad enough to throw up a customs border and thereby losing 60% of its export market overnight. It would be an absolute calamity. However, like most Scots Tory branch office tweets, this one is, and I'm trying to be nice here, questionable. Firstly, the 60% figure is debatable for various internal reasons, but for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go into all those, and I'll concede that our UK is absolutely a very significant export market for Scotland, and definitely our biggest single trading partner. But the Tory tweet, if not untrue, is at very least misleading. Firstly, at face value, the tweet leads us to believe that our UK buys 50 billion of goods from Scotland, but that Scotland doesn't buy anything back in return. When in reality, if you exclude oil, gas, electricity and water, which as part of the UK we pool and share, Scotland actually buys back more goods from our UK than we export to them. You see, the clue's in the name. Trade. Admittedly, our exports to our UK are a bigger proportion of our total export sales than theirs are to us. But on current figures, Scotland would be our UK's second biggest single trading partner. And of course, one of the most important things about trade is balance of trade. And this is where things get interesting. If you import more than you export, you have a negative balance of trade or a trade deficit. If you export more than you import, you have a positive balance of trade or a trade surplus. Scotland and Northern Ireland are the only two UK nations with a trade surplus. Now, taken as a whole, our UK has a massive trade deficit, the largest of which, both in pure pounds and pence and in percentage terms, is England's. Now, if you translate those figures, again excluding oil, gas, electricity and water, which we pool and share as part of the UK, into exports per capita and make Scotland independent, these are the figures you end up with. And that puts a very, very different spin on things. Of course, the purpose of trade is to make money. If we were to take Scotland's GDP on its own, we are more or less equal with the combined GDP of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovenia and Croatia. Yet again, excluding oil, gas, electricity and water, which we pool and share. Now, the combined population of those five nations is 11.9 million people. That's more than twice the current Scottish population of 5.4 million. And I don't think I've heard a single person say that these five Baltic nations are worse off since leaving the Soviet Union and joining the European Union. And of course, if trade across customs borders is such a headache that nations which have to do it generally decide just not to bother, then someone had better get on the phone to Canada, as they are surely doomed. 75% of Canada's exports are straight into the good old US of A. And there's no talk of Canada submitting to become the 52nd state of America, just so they can keep trading with them. Now, I've already mentioned the experience of the five Baltic states leaving the Soviet Union to join the European Union. But if you want an example from closer to home of the benefits of leaving one union and joining another one, check this out. The Republic of Ireland left the UK in 1922. With a similar population size to Scotland and a fraction of our natural resources. Of course, we all know that the people in the north wanted to stay with the UK. Now, the Republic of Ireland had a shaky start, but after joining the EC in 1973, which latterly became the European Union, look at how things have turned out for them. So why would the Scots Tory branch office tweet such a thing? Why would they promote something that, if not a flat-out lie, is actually so misleading? Well, the reason is simple. They know that many people will just lazily see it and share it. They know that the great majority of their followers won't bother to do the research and will just swallow it. They are actually engaged in actively misleading their own followers. Now, this isn't new, it's actually a propaganda technique straight out of the Joseph Goebbels handbook. If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. Because there's no nation in the world that would cut off its second largest export market just out of some petulant spite. And if you want proof of that, just look at this image here. These are all the countries that have left London rule. Now, this map is often used as an illustration of just how far the British Empire has plummeted. But today, I'm using it to illustrate something different. Take a guess how many of these nations the UK still trades with. Actually, I'm going to save you all the time Googling it. Because the UK still trades with all of these nations. Every last one of them. So I was perhaps being kind when I said that the tweet was questionable, because in reality, it's absolute bollocks. But it's absolute bollocks that will be dutifully and lazily spread by those who believe and swallow it. But it's also absolute bollocks that is easily disproved, as we just have. So you take care, folks, and don't believe everything you read, especially from the Scots Tory branch office Twitter feed. Good night.